Yeah, and welcome to the Milton Keynes Business Channel. Thanks for joining us today. We're looking at PPC advertising in Milton Keynes. Well, firstly, what is PPC? It stands for pay per click, which is a type of performance-based advertising. So the biggest suppliers really are Facebook, Meta, and Google. They've grown from nothing into some of the world's biggest, most powerful, richest companies simply through selling performance-based pay-per-click ads. So why is it so powerful? Well, pay-per-click enables you to appear right at the top of the search results of Google. You've just got to pay for it. And everyone bids against each other. So dependent on what type of product or service you have in Milton Keynes, you may, if you're really lucky, you may only have 2 or 3 competitors bidding against you. If it's very competitive, then you might have 10 or 15 different companies all bidding on the same keywords, competing for the same space. Really, the beauty of PPC, and you can see how well Google and Facebook have done off the back of selling this advertising. That kind of speaks for itself, but it's very high intent advertising. So it's not like putting an advert in a newspaper and people didn't have any intent to buy your service. They just kind of brush past it. This is people actively searching for your business impatiently towards the end of the sales cycle. They really want to speak to someone or get a quote immediately in most cases. So you're not interrupting people, you're showing them ads when they're ready to buy. So it's the perfect type of advertising. And I mean, the stats speaks for themselves. The average PPC campaign delivers a 200% return on investment. So for every £1 you spend, you get £2 back. And I produce CPC campaigns where it's more like 10 or 15x. If you get lucky, pulling in some big customers. So the beauty of PPC is that you can target local customers and you can target by region. So if you're based in Milton Keynes and you just want to target customers in Milton Keynes, you can do that. It's all very completely geo-targeted. So you can, for instance, put a dot in the middle of Milton Keynes and say, I want everyone within a 20-mile radius, or you can put in postcodes. It couldn't be more targeted in terms of location and geography. And with the ads, you can also schedule the times as well. So I've got clients where we only serve ads 9 to 5 because they don't want their phone ringing or to be annoyed when they're not at work. Vice versa, you can change your bids by time. Like, for instance, we have a number of gaming clients. Their customers are particularly active in the evenings and at weekends. So we put the prices of the bids up every evening, and at weekends the bids go up as well because people have spare time and they're more likely to be playing games. I can't emphasize how essential it is to craft effective ads. You would always be surprised if you make 3 different ads and you think they're all the same quality, they will always perform completely differently. It's a bit like a horse race. But you don't know what the odds are. So it's always best to, whatever you're advertising, I always recommend make at least 3 or 4 ads, because you never know how they're going to perform until you put them out there. You might think one ad is much better than all of the others, but actually when it's presented to people, that might be the one that doesn't convert best. So it's ultra vital to A/B test different ads. It's very frequently, usually when I take over from another PPC agency, I save on average 70%. It ranges from 50 to 92%. I've been averaging over the last year. My best one, 92%. I took their cost down from £2,500 per lead to £85 per lead. That's about as good as it gets. And one of the reasons I managed to do that is they had really weak advertising creative and they only had 1 ad out. So I just popped out 5 much better ads, A/B tested them. We went with the best one. They saved loads of money. So make sure with your ads that you include the main target keyword. So if you're a plumber in Milton Keynes, that's got to be in the ad. The reason is because Google's more likely to show that ad, the user's more likely to convert on the ad, and also it saves on your ad costs. You know, if I'm a plumber and I want to bid on Google for an electrician, try and get electrician leads in, Google will look and say, you're a plumber, mate. Why am I putting electrician ads? And it'll charge you loads of money because it doesn't like the user experience. It wants to send people looking for an electrician to an electrician's site, not to a plumber's. So you have to pay a lot more for that. And Make sure you use a clear, direct call to action, like call now, sign up here, register now, call now, that type of thing. And you've got to make sure your landing page, when people land on your site, it's fast, relevant, and persuasive. And you need the keywords on there, because when the keywords on your site match the keywords on Google, it gives you more ads, and the ads are cheaper, basically. So it saves costs. And the most important thing with landing pages is clear, direct calls to action above the fold. When I say above the fold, before anyone scrolls down. So you've got to have your offer. If you've got some sort of time sensitive special or discount, that always helps. But you need a form that people can fill in. You also need a phone number. A lot of people just want to pick up the phone these days immediately. So they type in whatever they want to find, click on the ad, land on the page. Right, I like that. They want to call you up. A lot of our clients, particularly in the home services section, most of their leads, they come in by the phone. They phone them back. They usually got a meeting within that day. They usually close a deal within a couple of days, basically. And you've got to react quickly as well, because bearing in mind, the customer's right at the end of the cycle. You know, if I want my house cleaned or painted or my car fixed, I want it done now. I don't want to wait. So if you ignore your leads and get back to them a few days later, you'll find that someone else locally has picked up that business. The next thing to bear in mind is budget and bidding. You don't need a massive budget to do PPC. You can test it with a few £100, and you also don't need to get tied into 6-12-month contracts. I don't know why local PPC agencies say, oh, you've got to tie into this to 6 months, you've got to spend this much. It's rubbish. We run PPC tests with a few £100, give it, test the water, see what it's like, and if it's good, then we'll scale up from there. But we certainly don't demand long-term contracts as a lot of the PPC industries do. And you can work around any budget. You can choose to cap it daily, weekly, monthly. Some of our clients just say, look, I want to pay £50 a lead. I'll buy as many as you can. We have other clients that say, this is our budget, £10,000 a month, get me as many leads as you can. And you can run conversion tracking on here as well, which is ultra important. So every time someone fills in a form, makes a phone call, purchases something, add to cart, if you've got any e-commerce store, all of this can be tracked. So the relationship you should have with your PPC agency, which we have with all of our clients, is we have a perfect understanding of what their KPIs are and what results they need to make money. As long as we deliver that, they make money, we make money, everyone's happy. The next question is, why do you use a PPC agency? Well, let me tell you, if you don't know what you're doing, then you could be losing loads of money and you don't even know it. Like I say, over the last year, we've only been trading in Milton Keynes just over a year. 70% is my average when I take it over from another client. Like, for instance, I took over a campaign from Yale.com towards the back end of last year, a financial services client. They were delivering 10 leads a month for £200. So they were paying £2,000 for 10 leads. 6 months in, I'm now doing over 300 leads a month with a budget of 10,000. So I've got their cost per lead down from £200 to £30. The other thing to bear in mind, there's a lot of novice PPC agencies and marketing managers and such like. They think they're doing a great job on Google because Google gives you all of these suggestions. Say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I'll tell you, most of them, they don't do you any good. They're just tools for Google to sell you more and to overprice their media. So I see it all the time. There's all these helpful assistants and AI, machine automation. It's just rubbish. I've A/B tested it all, and it's a false economy. Like one of my most recent ones, working for a distributor, a toy distributor that's got a big warehouse over in Willen. I got their cost per customer down from £21 to £4.50 by restructuring everything, following some of the methodologies that I'm telling you about now. And then a big agency over in the US kind of looked at it and went, wow, that guy doesn't want to know what he's doing. He's not using the automation. I know Google. They put on the automation and went up to £40. It went from £4.50 to £40. They lost 20, 30,000 pounds. Came back to me, oh, can you do it again? Yep, no problem. That's what my last experience of the Google AI automation that's going to improve your results. I've never seen money burnt like it in my life. 20 grand. I could have got the same results with like 2. So they just wasted £18,000 due to Google's ultra efficient AI tool. So if you're ready to start getting some instant leads from Google, we're happy to help. All of our contact details are below. Happy to give you a free consultation, a bit of a sample of the value and expertise that we have. Thanks very much for watching our channel. I hope you found this useful. Do please follow us. I'll put all of our links to some of the services we have, like SEO, pay-per-click, creative and such, right, in the description. And thanks very much for following us. I hope you found this useful.